you're the outside linebacker coach right now. And obviously you played linebacker in college. I played linebacker. Let's talk a little bit about how much that position has changed over the last 30 to 40 years. I mean, when you and I were playing, most teams lined up in the I formation. They had two receivers, they had a tight end who was a blocker, and you pretty much knew that you were going to get a lot of ISO or off tackle run. So for a middle linebacker, all you had to be was stout, tough, and make sure you could fill the A and the B gaps. Today, it's a totally different game. So talk a little bit about how
different deal.
Yeah, how it's evolved.
Well, it's really evolved where, used to be you need 2 or 3 kind of stud-like linebackers.
Right.
That can do the things you're telling you. I formation, you're going to run the ball right at your gut, those type of things. Now, because of the offenses where it's spreading you out,
right.
I mean, your linebackers are really more like strong safety types.
Right.
They've got to be able, where they've got to be able to step up and help against the run. But you're not going to get that real physical type of hitter from a linebacker, that we're familiar with. But that linebacker now, because he's more and more a strong safety, he's got to be able to move out on those inside receivers.
Right.
So they're getting outside the box, and so and they've got to turn and run with those receivers all the way down the field. They got to compete with those wide receivers. So the linebacker like me, being out in that open space,
yeah,
I couldn't function out there. I was more comfortable when I'm inside the tackles.
Right.
And that's
right.
So really, what's happened is that we grew up 4-3 defenses or 3-4 defenses. Now they're more like a 4-2 defense or 4-1 defense, and the rest are nickel and dime. Instead of that being a certain package,
right.
That's the base defense.
Right.
And so, and it's even changed and what's happened is a lot of your linebacker types, they've kind of moved more towards the defensive end position, right, where they're a little bit faster. But, because of, a lot of teams do so much zone blitzing where they're dropping one of the defensive ends,
right,
to drop into the certain weak side zone or even a inside zone. And we at Carson-Newman, we call it a fox defensive end. So he's got to be agile enough to go ahead and drop it into those zones like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where our regular defensive end, he might be 6'3", 245, 250, but our fox, he's probably maybe 6 foot, 235, where he's
right,
small, but he can run
right
better. And that's kind of what the dimensions were for a linebacker during our era.
Right.
So that's really been the biggest change, and that's because how offenses have changed. And
right.
In order for defenses to keep up, really more have to change your personnel more than anything else.